Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff. Going to be getting started here in just one moment. All right, so what we're going to go over today is how to become a resident ID expert. This is going to be diving into becoming a little bit more hyper-local with your landing pages, whether it's an IDX saved link, whether it's a page hosted on your own website, and then adding an IDX widget. And then the other one that some people still use is creating blog posts based on certain communities, subdivisions, neighborhoods, or even just general areas about any particular new venue, grocery store, Starbucks, stuff like that. So we're going to dive in here. If you have questions, you can ask during the webinar. I will try to answer them as they are relevant to what I'm working on. If not, I'll have to save them towards the end. If it's something I'm not able to get to, I will also follow up with you later on. So to get started, we're going to work first off with creating saved links. So saved links are going to be creating predefined searches, and they're going to be housed on those IDX pages. One thing you do want to kind of keep in mind with housing it on an IDX broker page, so a saved link, making sure that your account is also receiving all the SEO credit. So every IDX page is indexable. So all of your search, your results, your details pages, everything can go to your root domain with the SEO credit, but you have to make sure that it's set up correctly. So I'll go over that just real quick because I want to make sure everybody gets all the credit they can. So by default, an account is going to become visible as jefftrue.idxbroker.com. So domain.idxbroker.com/ whatever page that it's on from there. To make sure you get all the SEO credit on it, you want to use a custom subdomain and then also create a CNAME record in your registrar. So that inside that registrar, you're going to go create this and you're going to point it back to subdomains.idxbroker.com. That's going to tell Google and Yahoo that anytime somebody is on that subdomain page or any of the content that's on those subdomain pages, that all of that content actually belongs to you and your root domain. So you get that indexable page. If you need help setting this up, our support team can assist you with that. It is a little bit of step of a process to get done, but it's definitely worth it because you want to get credit for these hyper-local pages. It's very hard to beat Zillow, Trulia, Redfin on individual listing ID numbers or address numbers. However, you can beat them in hyper-local areas. I strongly encourage this to happen. I have seen a lot of customers that actually rank above Zillow and above Trulia on these landing pages, and I can show you some examples of those as well. So to get started, let's roll with a saved link. A saved link is going to be a predefined search based off of that neighborhood, community, subdivision, whatever it might be. So a couple of different options that you can do. You can use a basic search. So that one's really good for doing just city, county, postal zip code and a price range and maybe beds, baths. Advanced search filters is going to allow you to use whatever fields you have available from your MLS. You can narrow down by school district. You can narrow down by areas, anything that's available. So for like, two-story homes, waterfront homes, riverfront, lakefront properties, you can narrow down these niche target areas. The other big one for this, which is a platinum only feature, is going to be our polygon tools. That's going to allow you to draw on the map and it'll pull in listings from just the geolocation. So if it's an area where you kind of want to expand out a little bit from what maybe a subdivision name would be, or a new development coming in that's not quite named properly correctly, like if it's got a development name and then you got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, maybe go to platinum, use the polygon, draw it out and expand it out a little bit further. That way, once those listings do pop up and those geo latitude and longitude are generated, it's going to pull those listings in. So a couple different options for you. So for now, I'm going to use advanced search. I'll do it in my area and I will do, let's see here. I'll narrow it down by city. A lot of times when you use advanced search filters, you don't necessarily need to add in your city, county, postal zip code because typically these area or subdivisions are automatically pulled in right from that area. So you can set these by price ranges. I've seen several people that'll create area pages by like county and then create a whole bunch of individual niche ones based off of price. So it can be like a certain county from 250 to 350, 350 to 450, 450 and on up. So you can narrow them down. Those are really good for indexing because there's a lot of people that search, $450,000 house in such and such a subdivision. That's a good keyword. Good meta tag descriptions and keywords are also very important. So I've selected my area. I'll get rid of my price. And for me, like I can do like Lane County. That's my specific county, but this is the way our area pulls them in is by Lane County, and then it's going to give the descriptor. So I can pull in like Ferry Street Bridge. That's one of them. You can use multiples with these if you want, completely up to you. You can also utilize as many advanced search filters as you want. So you can do Ferry Street Bridge area, say you want it in a specific middle school or a specific high school. This particular area is all in one high school, but a middle school, they've got 3. So I can narrow it down by that. You can break them all down, completely up to you. You can also use as many of these advanced search filters as you want. So you can apply like, attached garages. You can do a waterfront, yes or no, included in it, and middle school, and the parking, and the year that it was built. You can keep adding these filters. I'm not going to keep adding because I'm going to keep it pretty general. So what you'll do is you'll select all of your criteria on your advanced search filters. We're going to click next step, name the page. Okay. Whenever you give this a page title, it's automatically going to dump it down into your link URL. So this is where I was trying to explain. You want to create these pages and page titles very similar to how somebody might perform a search. This is the root domain and the subdomain that's going to be on. So search.jefftrue.com/I. I, in our system, just means that it's a saved search, a saved link. You can change this too. So if you don't want the page title and the page URL to be the same, you can hop in there and delete that and change it. Meta tag descriptions, meta tag keywords, you can use those as well. You can put custom subheaders on each of these pages. So we're going to have an image, we want a video, we want text. You can throw your page title. You can center your page title, and let's give it the font family, or font size. We'll drop it up a little bit. So we're going to go page title, and then we'll drop it down into our normal. We're going to go our content area. I don't have any images. I was kind of bad and didn't get that one all prepped for you. Sorry about that. I'll show you an example though. This is your content area. You can put as much information on here as you want. This page can be rather large. You can also use the HTML editor, so you can put in some videos, YouTube. You can build out your links. So if you wanted to create a word or a text, select it. You can actually hyperlink off of it. So I can do content area. I can now link it to a URL. Like I mentioned before, some people do like a general one. So East webinar, and then they'll do each webinar by 100 to 200, 200 to 300. You can go create all those predefined searches and then hyperlink them off of text that you put on here as well, or you can insert it on shortcode inside the other page. So we'll put that stuff on, and we're going to do save and manage links. Let me East Eugene webinar. I gotta make sure I grab this correctly so it's easier to find. Oh, it's on the top. Okay, so this has created my page. So here's mine. It's East Eugene page, or the name. Over here to the right, you have the eyeball. This is the preview of the link. So we're going to open that up, and this is going to be how you're going to grab that link if you're putting this elsewhere. If it's done through just a regular like HTML, PHP website, you're going to have to hyperlink it using this actual URL. With WordPress and the plugin, it'll actually pull it over for you. So here is my area. So my content area, my page title. I forgot that I leave mine up here all the time just as an example, as an image showing what you can do, and you can always have content on there. So as you scroll down, you're going to have content. This is going to now pull up the map of the area, and then it's going to pull and display all the listings from this area. So it's going to be just like a standard results page, but now it's just a one-click going to these results pages. So when I go to my main website, and down at the very bottom, I've got my featured communities. I've got like Harlow, Junction City, Northeast Eugene. So I can click on Harlow, which is an area in this town. Again, here's my page title. Okay, here's my title, here's my content, and here's my YouTube video. So I embed that in there. You can actually control the size and what you want to be displaying on it. Everything's going to be pulled in. So that's creating our predefined search. So go create as many of these as you can, hyperlink these pages, get them all set up for you. It's a little bit easier. The second one that we can do on a saved link is going to be, like I was talking about earlier, is the polygon tools. I've got one right here. I'm actually just going to show you because it's the exact same thing we did, except for now we're just using the polygon to draw on it. So I'll come back in here to my search criteria. What it's going to do, instead of having the advanced search filters or the city, county, postal zip code, price, that kind of stuff, it's going to bring you to a map. This map is going to be displayed on the results page. That is going to use the elevation that you select over here on the left-hand side. So the further out you are, this is what it's going to show on the map on that results page. The further in you go in, that's what it's going to do. So I've drawn on this. Let's say another way you can do this is you can edit it. I'm like, man, I want to expand this little section out. I think I missed it. You can actually come in here and edit this. You can drag your markers any way that you would like, and make sure you save your changes. Now it's going to expand those areas out. Down below, you can also put additional filters onto it. You can put, if you're with multiple MLSs, you can narrow it down to just one. You got the property type that you can select, minimum, maximum price, BES, and then you have a sorting option. I personally like newest listings first, because if this is a page that people are going to be going to quite a few times, you don't want to always see, let's say you've got that $25 million home that's been sitting on the market for 8 months. That's the first house they see every time. you put the newest listings on there. If they're checking back frequently with your page, they're obviously going to see additional listings on there. If you did want to utilize additional filters, so you can use those advanced search filters by putting them inside this here. So this is a lot more custom work. When you perform a search on something, you're going to see, like if you're looking for a bank-owned home, or you're doing a predefined search for bank-owned homes, when you have to basically go perform an advanced search, put in the filter for bank-owned equals yes. And then what you're going to have to do is on that long tail URL, once you perform that search, you're actually going to have to go grab the a_bank-owned equals y. The ampersand, whenever you see an ampersand on the URL string, that's actually the separator. So it'll be putting something in, after that. So let's go, I'll just show you just real quick what I mean. I don't know if I have bank owned in my MLS, but we can see what we got here. Okay, so I can come in here. Let's go and grab garage type detached. And I'm just going to come up here and perform my search. So now if you look at the string here, we're going to go find garage type. So right here we have garage type equals detached. So you'll copy this, and then back in your editing by hand, you can come down here. We're going to have to put in the ampersand because we're now doing something after newest, and click paste. So now it's also going to filter garage type detached and then update your saved link. So now when we come in here and we preview this, hopefully this will generate a couple listings. So we got a few. So it did also pull in those additional filters. So there's our modified. We changed up a little bit. It's pulling in all those listings. And it's also every garage that is detached. It's the only way that it's pulling that in. But you'll notice when you use all those advanced search filters, by changing this name or making a saved link, I'm only using just this crisp polygon for this particular one. Very user-friendly. It's much cleaner looking as well. Next thing we're going to move into is creating widgets. Creating widgets you can add into a page that you have on your own domain, or you can add it into a different website entirely. So we're going to do it on my own website currently. So a widget, well, here I can just show you on the front page. These are all this is exactly the same thing. It's just a matter of the location of where it's actually put. So you have a showcase, a carousel, or a slideshow. These are going to be predefined searches. So it's going to be creating a search in the system exactly like I just did for that polygon with platinum or those advanced search filters. And then it's going to generate a snippet of code. That snippet of code is what you're going to put into the HTML section of whatever page that it's on. I'll show you where to grab that and where you can put that. So showcase is going to be one static property. You're going to choose the maximum number of listings and the number of columns that you want. So this one here is set up at a maximum of 10 with 5 columns. So typically if this has got all the listings on here for my predefined search, it's going to show 5 wide, 2 tall to give me my 10. This is a carousel widget, so this is a very clean looking, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It lets you choose between 2 and 10 wide at one time. This one's done at 3 and 7, so it's going to allow me to choose between my arrows on the left and right side, 3 at a time, or it will scroll through 7 at a time. Obviously, the more that you display at one time, the smaller the image is as well. The next widget is going to be a slideshow widget. This is going to be one property at a time. It is going to automatically slide through for you every 5 seconds. You can select this to be slower or faster. It goes in 3, 5, 7, 9, or 11 seconds, depending on your personal preference of how you want to do that. So grabbing these links, we're going to go to our widgets and manage. We're just going to go grab one in here. So I've got a Eugene just listed. So it's on a carousel. I think that's one of the ones that I have up there. Inside here is going to be my selection. So here I've got single family residential Eugene. I don't have any price in there, but my default pricing is in there, so it kind of just reset that each time. So I've done the maximum days listed as 5, so it's only going to pull in the last 5 days that's in there. So I did it with a basic search, so it's very simple, very easy to do. So I'm going to save my search again, and you can also edit this by hand. So where we did the detached garage, it's going to be the same thing. You can come in here and edit this widget by hand, so you can throw additional filters on these as well after the fact. And then you'll have your widget options. This is where you can select for it to be responsive. So depending on the container or the area that is going to be embedded into your website, Let's say if it's an area that's only like 400 pixels wide, it's going to be pretty small, but it'll fit in there as responsive. Also, if it's responsive and you have a container that's 1200 megapixels wide or pixels wide, it's going to fill out that entire area. So, and then it's going to adjust just depending on the number of columns that you have set up and how you want that to be done. On these widgets, you also have the ability to open widgets link in a new window. So when somebody clicks on one individual property, it's actually going to open a new tab to go to that details page. You also have the option to display or view all results on the links. What this is on the bottom of the widget, it's going to be view all results link so that you can actually click on it and it'll go to a results page style instead of having to scroll through the individual widgets. A question just came in. Will you receive a recording of this? Yes, you will. It is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel within usually 2 days, sometimes one. So we're going to go back to this particular widget. So Eugene just listed right here. So we've got a couple different options here. So we have a preview, the eyeball over here, or we have this little left and right caret with a /. That's going to be the code. So two options here. We're going to do this first. So once you create this, you can come in here, view code, grab your embed script, you'll copy this and go paste it into the HTML section wherever it's going to be. It can be on your own website or on these types of one here, these predefined searches that are actual, showcase or carousel. You can actually link these to any websites. So you can have your own pages on your website. You can add widgets too. So if you've already got good SEO built up, I don't suggest creating a save link. I want to add to your content. You've already got your marketing to it. You're doing pay-per-clicks. You're driving traffic to it. Now go in and add a widget to it to help benefit with your SEO. You're going to copy this, embed it, add it into the HTML section of that page editor. Very simple and easy to do. You can also verify that this is pulling in and looking the way that you want by doing the preview. The preview is going to be the same thing. It's going to give you the embed script. And here's my 4 properties wide with my arrows on the left and right side. And then again, you can copy that and pull it over as well. Completely up to you. An option that you can do is we have a couple of clients that create websites for specific buildings, condos, areas. So you can create all these hyper local websites, not just pages, but websites, and be able to use the widgets in exactly the same way. So this is Desai Realty. This is the main URL. They also have Kings West, Queen West, East. So what they've done is he's actually created websites for King West, Queen West, East, Annex, Uptown. If you look, his websites are actually very similar. So you've got Queen West and you got Desai. It is a change of color, small change in design in the background, but overall it's generally the same thing. So he's driving traffic to queenwestlofts.com. On here is a predefined search for Queen West Lofts. It's only pulling in just these listings. If you don't want to have multiple IDX feeds, it's $39.99 per account per domain. So if you've got 5 domains, that's 5 counts. That's a lot of money per month. It's not really, sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not. People don't like to spend that kind of money. Plus you have to manage your leads from those individual logins. This is going to give you the ability to create any hyper-local website and be able to draw traffic over to it based off of this predefined search based of area, community, subdivision, neighborhoods, buildings, whatever it might be. And what's going to happen, so if we go check out the main website, Desai Realty, and we click on one property, you're going to see it's on a custom subdomain set up on Desai Realty. So sold.desairealty.com and then the long tail URL. So it's now displaying the properties. Now, if we go do this same thing, it's on queenwestlofts.com, but since it's on a widget, it's actually going to, I'm going to open this, I'm going to hit the control button so it opens up in a new tab so I can show you. It's now going to sold.desairealty.com. So wherever you put these widgets, it's actually going to redirect that details page that's set up with the account. So it gives you the ability to create these hyper-local websites or pages and add to what you have existing. Hope that makes sense to everybody. Trying to do the best with showing examples of live examples. I think it's a little bit easier sometimes. I'm going to show you kind of a couple of clients that are doing really good with SEO. There's always the controversy between hosting it on your own domain, subdomains versus subdirectories. There's a couple of different options that we can do. So we're going to go look at, can I explain what a wrapper is? So a wrapper is, let's go log in. Let's go take a look. Wrapper is basically done off of pulling in your header HTML and your footer HTML and applying it to all the IDX pages. So basically what it does is it's going to go view a page on your website. Most commonly done is going to be like the contact us or about us or something that's very simple with not a whole lot of content. And they're going to go grab the header HTML and the footer HTML and separate. They're going to put a start and stop div tag inside there. And basically what's going to happen is this header HTML, footer HTML, and then between there is going to be that start and stop div tag, and the IDX pages and content is going to be displayed in between that. What that's going to do is that's going to make sure that those IDX pages are going to look exactly like your website. Hopefully that helps you with that one on the wrapper. So here's a good client that has created predefined search. So these are hyperlocal pages on the IDX subdomain. So we've got Atascasa, don't know how to say that, Bandera, Bastrop, Kamal, homes for sale. We got the same thing, Austin. These are actually here. These are by ranches. I'm sorry, let's go by that. And then here's some for homes. So ranches, that's a pretty niche market. These are pulled in by counties. So we're gonna take a look at this. Ranches for sale in Gillespie County. Pretty good predefined search. So you got right here, so Gillespie ranches for sale. We're gonna go ranches for sale in County, Texas. All right, so, oh, actually it's on the first page right here. So actually, you know what? It's actually beating Zillow right now. So Gillespie County, beating Zillow, beating realtor.com. That's pretty dang good. I can't stress enough, use custom subdomains, create hyper-local content, create hyper-local pages, websites, whatever it might be. Give it time. They are indexable. They can do better for you than Zillow. Anyway, so here's what we're doing is now we're creating one click to a results page, and it's displaying all the properties from this predefined search. Let's go, I'm going to show you an example of a live site, same thing. Let's see, Las Vegas. All right, this particular client, so this is a good use of pages and widgets all combined, actually utilizing them together. So we're going to go by an area. This is Summerlin Homes outside of Vegas. So what we have here, so this is a self-hosted page, lasvegas.realestate.org/Summerlin-homes.html. This client already had really good SEO. So what they've done is they've added the IDX content to it. So here's a showcase widget, 3 wide. Maximum number is probably what they're using for 100. This is embedded directly right onto it. Click on it, opens up details in a new tab. To our details page. Now, something else is done. Remember I mentioned that you can create these predefined searches, but you can also break them down by prices. This right here is that custom subheader area. This is not our page, but this is very similar where you can do this. You can put like Summerlin Homes and then create predefined searches to these individual ones, or they can go to individual landing pages and then embed widgets. This one here is actually going to IDX Broker Save Link. So we're going to click on it. We're going to see it now goes to sale.lasvegasrealestate.org. That is the custom subdomain. It's an IDX Save Link, and then Summerlin Homes for Sale under 500,000. Keep an eye on those long tail URLs, those page titles. Page titles, look, Summerlin Homes for Sale under 500,000. Here's the custom subheader he put in there. So he's just giving direction for his clients. Views my saved searches. Create saved searches. So the client can come in here and save this search. Boom, they're done. They create an account. They're going to start receiving automatic email updates about this particular area. Utilize both the tools. Utilize them on the same website. Use them on the same page. Link them. I can't express the more you do with these, the better off it's going to be. You can go create hundreds of these, 500s. In the evening time, sit there, watch TV. Just go create these. Grab a glass of wine. Talk with your friends. Whatever it's going to take to help you get all these pages going. It has already been 30 minutes. That was extremely fast. I apologize. I kind of got wrapped up and just started rolling there. Let me look back through some questions. So Ryan, I can't look at the wrapper personally on this demo. It would actually be pulling up everything. So what you need to do actually is contact our support team. If you've already got an account with us, let them know you need a wrapper update. If you have a developer partner that you're using, reach out to them because they actually will be the one that would support those pages. Sorry, I wish I could help you out on here, but there's a whole bunch of people on with us. How do you organize the widgets or links to find them easier at a later date? I'm assuming you're talking about on the back end of the IDX Broker control panel. When I do my live tours at my desk, okay, perfect. This is what you're talking about. I oftentimes name these based off of my client who I'm talking to. A really good example was I was talking to Chris the other day, and his main thing is he wanted to make sure Polygon tools would work for him. And is Platinum really beneficial for him? We pulled up my screen, we walked through it, took a look at it. I named it Chris. If you name these predefined searches in anything you want, so right below it, you actually see Houston ranch style homes for sale, 200 to 300. Let's say I have 10 Houston ranch style homes. Come in here to this filter over here and just type in search, and I can type in Houston, and it's going to narrow down just these. So I can always go back in here to Houston, and I can go back into the edit preferences and change that. Same thing for this one. Utilize this feature as a search. If that does not work for you, if you're on a Mac, hit Command F, that's to find, or if you're on a PC, Control F, it's going to drop this in right up over here. I can do this and it's going to tell me, okay, there's Houston and there's my other Houston. It'll drop it down. So a couple different options for you. The results pages look different than mine. How can I change that? Let's go look at it real quick. Not really this webinar, but got to make sure your stuff looks good. So if we go back here, so designs and pages, these are going to be all of our pages right here. Down here is going to be your results pages pages section. Homes is going to be your dynamic URL. So anytime a saved link is displayed up there, anytime somebody performs a search, it's going to utilize this results page. So again, it's going to use your wrapper, your header, and your footer and apply it to it. But then you can also come in here. You'll see this edit button. If you look under here, there's a layout. So we can actually go in and edit this layout section. So my current template that I have is mobile first. I've got 6 different templates to use. I've got content, content 2, mobile first, narrow, platinum grid, and spread. I got 6 to choose from right here. My particular one is mobile first. If I wanted to use this one, I can use it. If I want to switch it up, use platinum grid, I can do that. The next question is, do I have a results page open? I don't. So now when I click on this save link, it's actually going to apply. Even though I just changed it, it's already done. I now have platinum grid showing up in here. So whatever is currently selected, it's going to automatically use that exact time that it is refreshed. Any tutorials explaining how to edit the look of these pages to better match the wrapper? It can be done with CSS, but it typically is going to, that wrapper is going to pull your CSS, HTML, and your JavaScript and apply it to these IDX pages. However, you can go in and add additional CSS to these and completely change it up. It is completely up to you. As far as tutorials go, if you go to idxbroker.com and if you come up here to help, right here is our knowledge base. This is going to have all of our support articles. So you can come down here and start your search, start typing in anything. We're going to go CSS. We're going to go custom CSS, custom widget CSS, global wrapper overview. Everything's going to be right here. So just kind of perform a search. If you do have problems figuring out what you want, always reach out to our support team. If you have a developer on there, reach out to them as well. As far as where you can do those CSS too, I don't even know if you know that. Let's take a look. Go to designs, custom CSS. And here you can modify and add additional CSS. You got global, categories. So your categories is by all search pages, map search, results. You can also break it down individually. So search pages, you have address, listing. So you can really narrow some stuff down. That particular, going into the pages actually is a platinum only feature though. So keep that in mind. Sandra, yes, that is correct. You do not have to pay for multiple IDXs unless you want to. There are some people that do like to keep them, but like that Desai Realty that I was explaining to you, what they're doing is they're grabbing this HTML script on these widgets. So let's say, I'm at jefftrue.com and I go create a widget for West Eugene that I'm going to put on westeugenehomes.com. I'm going to take this embed script. I'm going to go put it on that page, go to that website, go to whatever page you want to put it on. So if we go look at, he doesn't have it's not linking to that those pages. But if I was on King West or Queen West and I click on that property, it's going to come back to sold.desai realty, whatever's set up on that main IDX broker account. Is the responsive layout the only one that shows really well on mobile phone? Personally, I think yes. But for instance, if you're using a different style, let's say we're using that platinum grid that we've got, you don't have to use the main wrapper that's part of your website to go on your mobile devices. You can actually come into your preferences and go to your global preferences, and then underneath this mobile tab, we actually have our own mobile wrappers that you can utilize. So these are wrappers that they're kind of set in stone. You can add a little bit of CSS, you can customize it a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good. It's going to have on the very top of it, it's going to be a bar. It's going to have your contact information. It's going to have your logo, company name, I believe. And what you can do is you can come down here and go use mobile wrappers. Mine's defaulted to no, or mine's set to no because I'm using my mobile first templates. But if I click yes, it's actually, even if I had mobile first templates being used for my search results and details pages, it's not going to matter. It's actually going to override and use this first because I have selected this. So now this is going to detect on any mobile device, so any iPhone size, any Android market, whatever it's going to be, it's now going to use this wrapper when it detects that it's on a mobile device. Now, we also have the ability to detect tablets as a mobile device. So sometimes tablets can be, if they're the bigger tablets, they can be used just like a regular monitor on a computer. If you don't want to utilize that and you want to kind of keep it consistent with the mobile design, click yes on this one, and it's now going to use the new mobile wrapper on that, which is built to be displayed on those individual iPad sizes. So from iPad 1 to the newest one, I don't know which one the newest one is anymore. It's too many of them. So it can be utilized and it's going to fit the screen exactly the way it should. One more quick question. And let's see, I've added a search criteria to advanced. That is a list, but when you use this search, the list isn't there. I mean, you might be running into something else here, but let's go, we're going to go to advanced. We're going to go to fields on the right. I'm going to use my RMLS and residential, view my settings. Todd, I have done this many times before where it's actually been a user error. I'm not saying that it is, but I have a hard time. I actually do a lot of online demos, just like I'm doing right now, but on a one-on-one basis. I always forget to save property type and then go back to the website. So first off, make sure you do scroll back up to the top and you do that, because once you're down here and working, you always forget to go back up to the top and save it. So check on that first. Some of these fields don't allow for the ability to have a list. It's actually going to just show nothing, or a quick list. So sometimes you put a quick list in there, it's going to say select additional, but it's actually not something that you can do. It's actually more of like an additional structured garage number attached. You know, it can be like a minimum or maximum. So you always have to make sure that it is set up correctly for that style or that feed. If you are having issues, our support team can also take a look at that, because we can query it and say, hey, this is actually like a quick list one, or this is a minimum maximum type thing. So just double check, but check on that save property layout, because I forget a lot. Do I have examples of a site that uses non-mobile templates so that they can view on a phone? I want to check out the responsiveness. I don't off the top of my head. However, I do know that there are some out there on our examples website. So if you just go to IDXbroker.com, if you scroll down to the very bottom, underneath this product section, you're going to see where it says examples. If you click on examples, this is going to allow you to go to these individual. In fact, you know what? I think this top left one, I think it might be using those pages. So go check that one out. Go check out each one of these. These are all live websites with our IDX. What's the difference between list and quick list? Here's a list. A list is going to be where it's scrollable and you have to select individual ones. A quick list is going to allow you to type, but you can, it's going to be like a predictive text, what's available, so you can select it. So it's a little bit easier when it's a field that there's going to be multiple things selected at one time, and we're going to let it pull up. So here is my list view. If I click on these, it actually goes away unless I hold the control key. On this one here, if I start typing, it's now going to give me a quick list. So now it's going to show me everything that's available from typing, and then I can go select. So there's the difference between list and quick list. Can you show where to view leads that have created listing manager account? So if you come into your leads, and then manage, so you'll be able to see all the individual leads that you have on here. So you can see when they signed up, who they are, if they have saved searches, if they have saved properties, last update, last activity. I think that's what you're talking about. Basically, if they're on here, if they've verified it, and if they have any saved searches or saved properties, they've created a My Listings account. Hopefully that kind of helps what you were talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you got any questions, reach out to me directly if you want. Our 800 number, you can ask for me directly. Email us, info@idxbroker.com or help@idxbroker.com for our support team. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for joining.